All right, friends and colleagues, let's check out how to manage your office and department page better. So I'm going to remind you that you can get to your page by using your shortcut. Then if you click Manage Org, this is my least favorite page that doesn't make any sense, but this is where you go up for the hamburger to then access. Again, we wish these features were out on that main page, but this is where you access the different features. I'm going to go back out to the public page to talk over recommendations about how to better use your page. But then when you want to come in and change that, this is where you're going to come to your Action Center to click into, say, the news article to write something and create an article. That is where you would go. So I'm going to hop back out to the main page. So first, I encourage you to think about the information and social media that you have on your page. If you go to the About section, this is where you can change it. You can add information of the location, you can add your email address, your office, phone number, how you want to market. There's a way that's a brief description of your group that when groups search in the Orgs tab, that is what will show underneath your account. But then you can add more information that would then show on this page. You can add your social media links. You can add images. So this is where we encourage you to each year or every maybe other year to utilize different Dominican accounts to gather the higher quality images and upload those to engageDU. You can decide what level of visibility they have, whether you want it to be just Dominican community, which means it's after you log in, or you can set those as public. So if we have prospective students going through engageDU, that they would see those specific images. So you can determine that. We encourage you, as you plan and confirm events, get those up as soon as you can. Again, students peruse through engageDU. It also helps other offices at times know about programs that others are doing, so maybe to avoid that date or to offer collaboration and assistance with programming. So again, the images that you select for an event on engageDU, we encourage you, it's not the flyer that you're going to hang around campus, it's going to be a higher quality image that you're going to want to upload. Also, with COVID times, you can also put up an online location if you have a specific link, or maybe it's a description of how to access it or how to do a sign up. So again, remember, those are options that you have. You can also add other hosting organizations. So say you're partnering with a Culver organization or another office, you can click them as a co-host, so that way it will populate also on their page. Again, hopefully marketing it to a broader audience. So again, that is how you're managing your events. Officers, so this is where clubs and organizations would have their different student leaders, but as an office, you can see here we have our different student workers for the Student Involvement Resource Center, and you can add a profile photo. If you go to the YouTube how-to playlist, you can see other videos, shorter videos about how to manage those different features if you want to check those out. But again, we hope that you're making that accurate, because when Rachel over here works in our office, that is going to transfer onto what's called her co-curricular transcript on engageDU for showing the dates and the title that she held as a student worker in your office. So we really do encourage you each year, or even once a semester, to go in there, look at your page to see what you might need to update or refresh. Down here is the news section. So this is where you can highlight maybe you're marketing an upcoming event or hosting a sign up. Maybe you're sharing scholarship information. You're like how we have this summer, we're just marketing our social media. So for any folks who don't already follow us, they can find that information. But this is, again, where you can use it in a wide variety. Say you have a job posting in your office that you want to let folks know about. The news will populate here on your page. But also when you first post it, if you mark the visibility for, not just folks in your organization, it will also show out here on the main page. It'll show until 3 more events are posted, which would then bump it off this main page, but then it would still remain on your individual page. So that's something to know. And then last, one feature that I think is underutilized at times is the document section. So this is where our office has chosen to put different information that if students can come to our office, grab a handout, maybe they're grabbing it off the wall where we have a lot of resources and documents, we also want to make sure we're putting it on engageDU so they can access it at any time our office is not open. You can set up files and folders with different visibility and kind of permission of who can access that. So maybe you have a folder for your student workers and resources for them. You would mark it as only org visible, which means if they're on your roster as a student employee, they would be able to access that information. So you can kind of think creatively about how you might use this. I'm going to click back into my Action Center. You can also access your Action Center by clicking the dots next to your profile photo and clicking Manage. Then you would select which group, and then you would be back here. I like to use that shortcut on the home page. But the last feature I really want to talk to you about is forms. This is one where you can create, say you're trying to collect information from your student workers about, maybe it's an icebreaker or get to know you. Maybe you're hosting a more complex sign up or application process or nominating of awards, whatever you might be gathering. These are very similar to Google Doc, a little different, but pretty straightforward. So if you were to come into Forms, you can click over here to the right and then Create Form. This is where you would name your form. You could set run dates. You could click Active. If you click Featured Forms on the main page of engageDU, it would show as a featured form right out here. So you can see Student Government Association currently has applications, as well as the President's Advisory Council. That's where students could access it more easily. They can also find it on your page. But this is where you could set it up. I'm going to click Allow Submissions for Public Users. So maybe if we're like, some students don't remember to log in and we want to make sure they can see it, allow multiple submissions. And then I'm going to click Save and Add Questions. Next, this is where you can use the fields to create instructions. So say this is where I put all of my information about what to do. I add links. I can put a hyperlink in there as well. Then I'm asking a drop-down question. What is your favorite day of the week? I'm not going to have perfect spelling because I'm trying to make this video not so long for you all. But again, this is where you could put your options, and then this is what it would look like, and they would have a drop-down feature. So again, uploading files, you can think about how this would apply best to your office, but that is one last feature that we want to highlight that really serves offices pretty well. So again, we hope that each year, really we would strongly encourage you for each semester to look at your page, look at what you're doing. And always remember, with events on engageDU, you are able to post. There's a RSVP feature that you can personalize with other questions or further information, but you can also track attendance. So when you click Manage Event, this is where you can track attendance. You can do it by having students, if it's a small gathering, you can take email addresses, or if it's a larger group, you can talk to our office about checking out scanners from the Student Involvement Resource Center, Coghlan 040, or you could look at purchasing one. Scanners run from anywhere from $50 to $100, but they do last a long while if you take care of them. And we typically encourage folks to scan directly into an Excel document because if you're worried about Wi-Fi or maybe connection to the internet, there's a little bit more safety in that, or problem solving if something were to go wrong. Or you can also click into this swipe page, plug the scanner right into your computer, and then you would be able to log your information directly into the system rather than doing an Excel document that you would have to move over later. But again, these are tips and tricks that we really wanted to highlight specifically for offices and departments. If you have any further questions, please reach out to our office at beinvolved@dot.edu. You can also request to say, we have some new staff in our office or student staff. Could you send somebody from your office to do a 20, 30 hour presentation? And we would be glad to help you. So thank you again. This is engageDU. And this is where we direct all students for their co-curricular experience and getting plugged in on campus. Thank you.